from the pit.
Pit flag, probably the best game type to start any series off. Everyone gets a chance to feel their way into it. Everyone gets a chance to get that sniper rifle in their hands, hit a few headshots, and start, you know, even for the coaches, stood behind the guys, you've got to start timing some power-ups, making sure that those weapons aren't dirty. So it's a perfect way to feel your way into a series, and also a very good way to catch fire early. If you hit a few shots early on, all of a sudden it's like, right, I'm ready for this series, here we go.
What's also interesting, right, is that it's also a game type where if you come out hot, doesn't mean you're going to be able to run those first flags. So you're going to see teams that maybe have their nerves on edge. They're going to pull some premature flags. They're going to make a few early errors, which can really screw you up. It's very different from a Heretic CTF opener, right, which is boom, 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 so fast. Pit CTF, you're going to have to see a lot of things slow down at certain times and speed up at others.
Well, gentlemen, our next location right now is the pit. The game is ready to go, so please take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's time to get into our 4v4 here at the HCS Invitational at South by Southwest. We're starting off with the pit. We're starting off with catching the flag, Andy. As you can tell, I'm almost garbled in my words because I'm too excited. Because it's time for 4v4.
What a classic game type here. Everyone in the room, everyone joining us online, thanks so much for being here at South by Southwest. Fantastic to be at such a great festival here. It's going to be wonderful here to kick off game number 1, SQ versus LUX.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've all been waiting for, and this is the pros doing what they do best. Starting this one off with Assault, the man that we were fearful of, as we saw those little intro videos, but he's going to be fighting on the training at the moment. You can see that SQ have managed to get the early rocket launcher. Cloud is, I think he's going to get the burn there on that OS to start things off.
Well, I actually believe, yes, it wasn't. You know, he got a little bit of OS. As we take a look, this is his POV right here. I do apologize also, you just saw that it was Assault there on the label for French. Want to go ahead and get that tacked up for you. But Cloud able to actually get a good bit of overshield. That really is showing kind of amount of hours he has on Halo 3 to position himself away from the training so well on that pillar to still get some overshield out of that.
Yeah, and I believe that this is Ace, actually, from SQ. He's got the sniper rifle here. You can see he misses that shot narrowly, but rotating back towards the green and the long haul. And if you don't know by now, a lot of those flag runs will be, of course, going through that long haul, through that green box, unless we see some of those classic SQ training runs.
Absolutely now. Let's take a look. Bubu finally getting in behind. Going to slow things down, make sure to double back, and now sniper rifle, not in a bad spot. You see 2 red X on the screen, but certainly a position where you can make something happen here.
Yeah, so it's going to be caught off guard here, so this should be a fairly comfortable kill here for Bubu, just allowing his teammates to respawn. Now he can sit out with his sniper.
Yeah, it looks like you said, just going to play this nice and slow, sit back for a second, and really no need to rush out of here. It's a good place to anchor from. Obviously, he's not going to want to stay here too long, but just like we said, he has a great sightline here. No one can wrap around training. He's going to continue to watch this, continuing to rack up some shots. Yeah,
now you're more than likely to see the push come in here from LUX Gaming. You saw Bubu picking up 1 kill, dropping a body on another, but those kills weren't converted into a push now. And you can see 2 players now flying down the long haul. That means that Bubu is going to be coming under pressure. 2 red X's on his screen once more. Bubu coming under all sorts of pressure. You can see he's the last one alive here, but a big kill here on the flag carrier. Looking for a second kill here, and Bubu, he's starting off Texas in the right way.
He got excited there. You see Neighbor finally shuts it down, but several red X's there going to end that killing spree. Talking to Neighbor here, who's on your screen quite a bit before this match. He said he's feeling good, and I think a player like Neighbor, when he's on, he is an absolute threat.
So that Demon D, the sniper rifle takes down Ace, who was falling towards the runway. You can see a battle now going on around that OS. I think Flamesword might have just actually got a burn on that one, so that's going to be out of commission there. But you have to give some credit there to Bubu, the way that he managed to basically play some really stellar defense there, waiting for his teammates to come off respawn and hitting those shots when he needed to.
Yeah, we did hear from the back. Shout out to Nighty Night observing here these games, doing a great job selecting the points of view that you're going to be watching all weekend long here at the HCS Invitational South by Southwest. He did let us know that was the turn on that last overshield, so we'll go ahead and see who's able to rally on the next power-up.
That's going to be Neighbor with the sniper rifle in the sword, and this is somewhere that he loves to be. Looking for some targets in the moment. Surprise, surprise to see Neighbor coming up behind someone. Misses the headshot, but hits the body shot there for the double. Another player going to be in front of him. Neighbor's going to have the chance to make a play, but Bubu shuts him down before he can get anything too exciting going.
That's well done by Bubu, because to be honest, you have to know a player like Neighbor, and there's a lot of players like this at this tournament. If you give them that 1 extra second, we were talking about it with Pistola earlier, if you give them an extra fraction of a second, they are going to hit those headshots, those no-scopes, to really make you pay. So there's a lot of players here where if you don't shut them down right away, they're going to cause some big headaches for you.
You have to say, as we're a few minutes into the game now, Andy, it has been kind of SQ pushing the pace more in this game. It's been LUX with a more defensive approach to Pit CTF. it's been SQ have been the aggressors here. You see Dubu again having to play defensively, having to hit some shots, and he has SQ players now flying at him. And again, he's put in a situation where he has to stay alive and do some damage.
Right now, not much left in the sniper rifle, so he's going to sit a bit. He's got help from Gilkey. I was going to say Gilkey should absolutely have no problem cleaning that up.
2 kills do fall to the Gilkey here. Last player will be taken down, so that's 3 dead. Neighbor last alive here for SQ. And the interesting thing is here, how important it is to stay alive, of course, on Halo 3. You can do so much damage if you are that last player alive on your team. Can't over-challenge anything in particular. Now you see Bubu moving down towards the OS. And look at this, SQ know it's coming up as well in the next 10, 15 or seconds or so. So he's going to be moving in to try and get it. I think Bubu might have actually got the burn.
I think what you saw there was that melee during the window of invincibility on that overshield. That should have, we'll get confirmation from the back, but that should have been the burn on that.
So another overshield out of commission. We haven't seen that been too effective so far in this game. None of the power-ups really being brought into play as far as creating a push for one of these teams, creating an opportunity to get across the map. And this is kind of what you expect to see, to be fair. First 4v4 game of the day for these teams. It is going to take them a little bit of time just to get warm, get used to the stage once more, get used to the LAN environment before they start hitting these shots that we know they can. Yeah,
and I'd say even when you have just any pit CTF match with players of this caliber on both sides, it's going to be a little bit of a drawn-out game, and really I say that in a complimentary way, right? This is a real battle, a pit CTF game. It's not something like a Heretic CTF or an Onslaught where you can squeak out flags as long as one thing goes right? You're not going to see a flagpole with with only 1 dead and 3 alive. So really, a lot of coordination required. A lot of certain maneuvers need to happen before you can pull that flag. So it's going to be a bit of time before we see a flag run in.
Cloud, obviously known for his time back on Instinct in Halo 3 and some of the shots that he hit. You know when that man's picking up a sniper rifle ahead of the likes of Roy. He was obviously something special to watch in the original Halo 3 days. Now he's back on MCC, looking to recreate that kind of form that got him such notoriety back in the day. He's coming under pressure though. Gilkey manages to pick up a kill on Ace, and it has really been a stalemate game so far, Andy.
Yeah, it has. Finally, flag stolen, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the first pull, just over 6 minutes into the match.
You say that Gilkey pretty much shuts this down immediately. It was SQ with the pull. Flamesword being the player to get into position. Ace picks up a kill now. So LUX have to be a little bit careful here with that flag moving to make sure that they get all the players out their base, don't get another touch on that flag and keep it moving. One thing that's certainly going to help that and maybe turn this into a push of their own for LUX Gaming is the Gilkey getting the rockets. And look at this, Demon D's now got the OV as well.
They're right around. Oh, the boy! Flamesword gets the better of that. That overshield, by the way, was 32. He's got to be happy with that. Of course, Backwhack going to neutralize that overshield immediately. Gilkey on your screen, he finally gets taken down. But one thing I also wanted to say on set was anyone who saw St. Louis knows that you and I are pretty impressed with what we saw from Gilkey. Like we said, he's certainly not a new name in the Halo 3 scene. He played with so many top players, was always practicing at the top LAN houses in Chicago as well, which got him pretty darn good at this game. So expecting to see big things from Gilkey once again.
Yeah, Assault gets absolutely melted there as he tried to push through the green box. 2 players from LUX Gaming managed to locate their BR reticle straight onto him and take him down almost immediately. Cloud picks up another one, so you're going to see pressure coming in here. And a nice little bit of, so we say, slightly fortunate positioning there to find the player behind him. Gifts a sniper rifle over to Assault, but Gilkey again manages to trade it out. Neither team can get kind of a succession of kills going at the moment.
Absolutely not. Like you said, things are going to slow down at this pace, of course. Now as we take a look, as a reminder, the bottom right of your screen, that clock you see ticking down. If the score is tied at 15 minutes, the game will continue. However, if there is an advantage with no flags away from home, oh my, what a shot there from Cloud. You're going to see the game end after 15.
I think this could be the first cap of the game as well. I think Gilkey's managed to get the flag down the long haul. He's got it up to the plat already. This is actually going to be the first one. It's Bubu, who has it. So just like that, the first opening in the game, the first time we see a 3 or 4 dead, LUX Gaming managed to convert.
Yeah, what way to capitalize there. You saw Cloud, and by the way, anytime you see Cloud sitting on bridge and getting a double kill while the flag's being ran, that's almost a guaranteed cap. They're going to be able to convert on that. Also, just hearing from 90 that next overshield at 21-32. Look for that to be a big play here, but that flag's still being ran as well.
Yeah, this is another big chance for a cap potentially here. It looks like LUX Gaming have decided to look for some Slades before they try and get that touch and get that run going. Also working around the overshield here, so good decision making here from LUX Gaming. Much better to prioritize those overshield and the power weapons on the map when you do have that cap advantage.
Yeah, just like you said, it's a great call. You have to wonder exactly where that came from on the LUX side. Perhaps really a call across the entire team. But to know to sacrifice that run, to push it no longer, great shot there in the ankle from Boo Boo, and another one here gets the help he needed from Cloud. But to know to abandon that flag run, and instead, look at this right away. Look at Boo Boo and Demon. They know there's someone there on their mauler, pushing back for their first BR. Really great awareness as well.
Yeah, you saw it. They just turned around and started hunting him like a pack of wolves. Knew they had to get that final player out, because if that player that gets behind you, even if he's not doing damage, Andy,
So
you
bad.
forget about him. You push up to halfway across the map. A couple of kills fall on that player's in that player's team's favor. He gets that flag at least halfway, and then the respawners can come in, pick up that flag, and before you know it, you're in trouble and you lose a flag count.
With a few rare exceptions, you really never want to try to push out of your base if there's someone in your base. Like I said, there's a few exceptions based on weapons popping up, certain places that the flag run could be. In general, as a rule of thumb, you want to push back. You push back together, you kill that player, then you push out, knowing that no one's behind you.
Yeah, Demon D not connecting with a few of these sniper shots. Gilkey comes in. Good teamwork here from LUX Gaming. Defensively, they have been superb so far. And one thing that SQ are known for is their disruptive gameplay, their ability to get the likes of Ace and the likes of Flamesword in behind enemy defenses. They've been shut down so far, but there's the rocket.
Great
Demon D
rocket.
gets taken down. 2-4 now for LUX. SQ should have a chance to push themselves.
Great stuff from Assault. It's a little bit of a blind rocket there. He knew that the pressure was coming long haul. Might have been even screen watching to place that rocket so perfectly on the long haul yellow, but now look at this QUO run starting.
Yeah, and you can see Sniper Rifle in play as well, and he's picking up some of the respawners. Rockets as well. Gilkey manages to pick up one kill, but Ace has got through the long haul here. He is taking shots, and that's because of the respawners, I think, that might have come either from the flag or in that Needles area.
There's a push here. This might not be a guaranteed cap. Boo Boo's through.
There's two. There's Gilkey and Demon D as well in position. You can see SQ smartly try and move it towards the training. Booba picks up a vital kill there on Neighbor, who was trying to do what Neighbor does, and that is pick up those kills on the flank. But LUX Gaming somehow have done a good job here to get into position.
Look at Assault.
The question is, can someone get a touch? And Ace does get that touch. Assault gets the second. SQ clutch up.
Wow, what a run there. Look at Ace able to get onto the plat, drops it into the cuts there for Assault. Assault narrowly gets it, but will the counter come through?
Well, here we go. Booba moved it through the first BR. Ace picks up one kill, and that's going to make his life a little bit more difficult. That's going to make him have to make a few more decisions maybe than he would have wanted to. Neighbor comes in, shuts down that flag run. So great offensive plays, rallying that flag back coming in from SQ, but then the reaction to that. Defensively, superb as well.
Really great. You can't say enough about it. Assault was actually, this was a 2v4 essentially, maybe a 2v3 depending on exactly where the LUX spawner was, but you had Assault with no shields top tower with a sniper rifle. Ace was, wow, great shot there from Ace. Ace on your screen now, he was on the training battling as well, manages to somehow get to plat. Assault stays alive, cuts. Some fortunate timing there, as Gilkey did not know Assault was also in the cuts, but to rally that back with, I mean, they didn't even have an extra fraction of a second to bring that in to make it 1-1 and to stop the counter. This big stuff from Status Quo.
Two players fall in front of Ace here. Gilkey manages to take two players out of his base. Nice no-scope there from Ace, but it doesn't matter because Demon D wasn't missing shots there. Managed to get the trade in a disadvantageous position. Players now exchanging kills. The overshield's going to be popping up pretty soon as well, Andy. Gilkey picks up two. He's looking for a third as well on that player on the tower.
Yeah, Gilkey there not backing down at all. Pressure is coming in though, so he's going to have to retreat. But I like what I'm seeing from both sides, really. I'm really glad that we have here, you know, a pretty offensive-based match, right? This is not a 0-0 tie at the 17:30 mark. This is a great 1-1 game with both teams now having several pulls to their name. So this pit seed depth has certainly livened up quite a bit.
Now this could be the game changer here. You see Assault coming in, picking up the overshield, managed to take down a player as well. So a full overshield now for SQ means that Assault can get aggressive. He can put the pain onto the LUX Gaming squad. He can put so many shots down, and not only this, he's a massive distraction. Look, all of SQ have managed to get the high side of the map now, push through because of the damage that Assault is doing.
Absolutely now. Really great stuff from him as well. Take a look at that flag. He's also going to keep pressure on the tower because those tower players are really the only ones, great kill there, that can really stop this run.
Yeah, and you can see Assault here. He's shooting respawners, and that means that SQ are in a great position to potentially cap a flag here. It's Flamesword who's got it through the green box. He's taking a little bit of damage here, but look at this. Neighbor, he's come off the respawn. He's in a perfect position to finish this one off. SQ, they were one down. Now they're two up, and they're one flag cap away from winning this.
Not only that, right? They're a minute and a half from winning this, because keep in mind, if this clock hits 15 minutes with one of the teams leading, that will be the end of regulation time. That'll be the game. no overtime there if that's the case. So right now, really, pressure is on for LUX. They need to get a flagpole going within the next minute 20.
Yeah, D should be taken down here. Somehow manages to stay alive, but Cloud gets taken down. Assault wins his 1v1, and this could be the opportunity to potentially move this flag. You can see SQ decided, do we keep slaying? Do we play for this 1 cap win, or do we go for the win with the 3 caps?
I think they need to slay more if they want to get this. Let's see, I guess two kills did come in, so that could be it. Especially with this double as well.
Looking across the board, I think there's no one really in position here, for LUX Gaming. That is going to be the game. Neighbor throws it home. He's going to cap this last one, and SQ take your game number 1.
Oh, what a win, just like you said on set. To be down 1-0 and then rally back, essentially 3 unanswered caps to close out the game. Took them a little bit to wake up, but Status Quo looking strong.
Yeah, really impressive performance from them in that game number 1. As you say, just took them a little bit of time to find their way into the game, but looking across the board there, and I'm looking at Assault, 37-20, that's a +10 bomb.
Great numbers there. And to be honest, that's what you expect in a tournament, right, is to be able to it takes a bit of time for you, not only in your first series, but really your first game and the CTF to wake up just a bit, but Status Quo is looking strong.
And boy, when their alarm went off, they were up and at it, that is for sure. I mean, right at the beginning, I did think that LUX really looked good, hot off the mark. It actually seemed like they were more in tune with what their opposition were doing around the map. They kind of were reading them really well, capitalizing on, 3 or 4 dead, managing to get that cap, and then looking forward past that. It wasn't just like, okay, cool, we got a cap. No, they were actually looking forward and seeing if they could maybe pick a couple more off the spawn and then maybe get another cap straight after. But, I mean, SQ, they woke up. They really did, and they were unstoppable from there on.
The thing that SQ do so well, and the thing that a team like TOX Gaming do so well at the last event as well, is where they die on the map. They're not concerned if they die on their opponent's side of the map. That becomes irrelevant to them. Then it just becomes a case of, okay, our push failed, whoever's last here, just stay alive, buy us time to respawn. The difficulty there in that first game, we look at LUX Gaming, all of their kills they were picking up on their side of the map. So it's like, okay, great, we're picking up these kills, but we're not actually moving towards the objective there. It was only when SQ really started putting the pressure on that they were like, okay, we need to push now. We need to try and get up the map. And SQ, they were the people who were not worried about dying on that side of the map. They were doing the better job of having smart deaths, essentially.
Yeah, there's a multitude of reasons that aggressive play in Halo 3 is not only essential, but it's so much rewarded. It took teams back in the Halo 3 days, right, in 2007, 2008, to pick up on the fact that the more aggressive you play Halo 3, right, the more rewards you will reap. Because if you fly at opponents, right, like you said, you get those advantages. There's so much to be said about the speed of the game, team shooting, etc. And I think the teams that are able to play this game at the pace it needs to be played, they're going to continue to win games.
Let's talk about some of the incredible moments that we saw in that map. I mean, when Ace clutched up, popped the flag over to Assault, and he managed to get that in. Moments like that, the small margins that you see in these pro Halo tournaments, they make the difference. They give you that advantage, and especially going forward, if you can start putting your team towards areas that you know where the spawn's coming, you know how to set your team up, that's huge. That's the whole game for you. That's the end of the game. That's the end result. And going forward, I think LUX really needs to step that up a bit.
Yeah, it's also kind of a little bit of a heartbreaking cap, because if you're on the LUX side and you just let that cap happen, right, that was a 4v2. By the time the flag was actually capped, it was a 4v2. You can bet that the 4th LUX player was already on the right side of the map. So for Ace to sneak from training to the plat, I mean, the plat is the most visible part of the map on each side. So for someone to be able to get to a plat, toss it cuts, and that's a cap that shouldn't have happened. So for LUX, right away, they're going to get a little bit down.
That's a communication thing, on my point. Just a little thing like that, that's a communication breakdown, but that can quite easily be put right.
Absolutely, and on your screen right now, we've got the series layout brought to you by Xbox Game Pass, of course. We've just seen the Pit, CTF, and next up we've got Construct, and it's Slayer. This one really, for me, can go either way, SQ or LUX. It just depends on how they set up, who's got top control, who's looking across the map, who's being able to move into position properly, and kind of almost foresee what their opposition are doing.
So this is the thing. This is where SQ have to change their mentality from game 1, which is we don't mind about where our deaths are. Now it's all about your deaths. It's about conserving your deaths as well as obviously putting up those kills. You've got to get the 50 kills on the board. This is where LUX, if they kind of play the similar way that they did and they were playing their lives in the similar way they did in the game 1, this could quite easily be 1-to-1.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what's going to come down, what really is going to be the difference maker here is going to be discipline. And there's a lot of things that happen before the 30 kill mark that players are going to play a little bit looser. They're going to maybe, play a little more aggressive than they should, or play slower than they should at different times. And for me, it's going to be who can play a disciplined match of Construct Slayer, because Construct Slayer is a game type where if you make mistakes before the 30 kill mark, you're going to be in terrible situations and in big deficits after the 30 kill mark, and it's going to be so hard to come back.
Gentlemen, I want to know exactly what happens in this game. That is why I'm going to give it to you in your capable hands to take us through this next map. Construct, take it away.
Thank you kindly. And it is time to get into our game number 2 here, Construct Slayer. We saw a little bit of Construct earlier, Andy. Now we've obviously got the 4v4 variant going on, and we've got the rocket launcher, we've got the sniper rifle, and of course, we've got that camouflage down low as well.
Absolutely. Lots to worry about here. But of course, in a 4v4, different from the 2v2s that we saw earlier today, you have a lot more kind of variation in the responsibility you can have. A lot of players can hold these weapons and these power-ups a lot easier. At the same time, though, you have a lot more players watching different sightlines. It's even harder to push in a 4v4.
Oh, absolutely, and it's definitely, even back from the Halo 3 days, I think we're still seeing meta developments in this game. We're seeing that gold being prioritized a little bit more than those purples in that lobby area, just because of what seems like a slightly heavier weighting on the spawns towards gold.
Absolutely. Now, lots of presence here in close. Not exactly what you expect to see off of the break. 4 players around close street, close gold, but 5-0.
I was going to say, that's one thing that you're not expecting to see off the start. 5-0, rockets in the hand of Demon D as well. Finally, Assault gets the first kill on the board here for SQ, but perfect start here for Demon D and crew.
Absolutely, and Demon D is going to keep strolling up close street. Easy rocket kill. And right here, I want to see the LUX side continue to play with this discipline right now. They're up 7-3. It's a little bit of a nice cushion. Don't give a few kills away here and blow that entire opening lead you had. Really play discipline here. Use this rocket well. Don't just use it to get a kill. Use it on a push. Right there, of course, Flame gets up, so he doesn't have that opportunity, but now push together in a 4v3.
Yeah, you can see the rest of his teammates here. Demon D's kind of the player who's going to be flanking here. 3 players were pushing close street. Good shots there from Neighbor, and you can see there's a player here from SQ who's managed to get behind enemy lines. That man is Assault. Assault versus Gilkey. Assault wins the battle, and that's going to be a killing spree for him.
Yeah, big plays there from SQ. They bring it right back. Not only bring it right back, but look at this now, tied up here. It was just, keep in mind, 5-0, then 7-3, and here we are tied 9-9. It's a great presence in lobby from QUO, but like you said, it was all about that flank on open street.
And sometimes you can get a little bit greedy when you did get that big kill lead at the start. You start thinking, we're dominating, and I could take a risk or two. I can kind of go on a flank, and then before you know it, everyone's trying to flank, and all of a sudden you fall dead, and then the game's pretty much tied up and you lose control. So discipline, a great point that you bring up there. We see Flamesword now just patrolling this open street and just laying down shots.
And this is a story we've seen so many times before. Anyone who's watched a good amount of competitive Halo 3 specifically, you have these teams that take a minute to wake up. Several triggers down teams that I coached were like this. We very rarely won our game 1s in the tournament. We drop game 1 and then we would sometimes go undefeated throughout an entire Friday and a Saturday. And there's a lot of teams that just take a minute to wake up in both series and games. And that's what we're seeing with Status Quo right now. They're playing at a higher level. They're having slow starts. But as soon as the game picks up any pace, they're starting to really outclass LUX.
There might be an opportunity for LUX to tie the game up. They have done so. Gilkey with the camouflage here. And camouflage, you have such a lot of time with this power-up as well. So a lot of the time you'll see players playing a little bit slower than you would on some other game types, say an objective game type, for example. Just take their time and use the camo to its fullest. Make sure that you're not just getting 1 or 2 kills. You're really giving your team an opportunity to put 5 and 6 together. And look at this, Gilkey is coming up behind Flamesword. Flamesword spots him out though, in a trade with the camo, you'll take that every day.
Got spotted there, yeah, they'll definitely take it. Got spotted there from what looked like back gold. I don't think it was mid gold. I think it was more of a back gold angle. That's unfortunate because potentially could have picked up those 2 kills. So these 2 teams still neck and neck. Good shots from Boo Boo there on R1.
On board then with Cloud. Flamesword jumping towards R1. A little bit of damage coming in, and Flamesword has managed to get the rockets, and that missed shot there is going to cost Cloud. Flamesword with the double kill. Looks towards open ramp as well, looking for a cheeky triple on anyone who might have been daring to make their way down to open ramp. And look at this. I mean, this is going to be party time for Flamesword. Unfortunately, doesn't connect with that second rocket, but 23-22, and this is a pretty fast pace on this Construct Slayer.
It really is fast. That's what you want to see. Like we said earlier, Construct Slayer is certainly a game type that could play very slow. You could see it very standoffish, but this has been anything but 26-24, a very, very fast-paced and really aggressive match of Construct Slayer here. Camo, by the way, popping in about 9 seconds.
You can see the boat. Everyone's moving down at the moment towards that camo. We saw Gilky get his hands on it first, so he'll have an exact time on that. So many battles going down at the moment. In the basement, you can see Demon D, Boobadooboo, and Cloud all set up, and it is going to be another pickup here for Lux Gaming. This time it's going to be Demon D within hands.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for them. When you're down by 3, you got Camo, you got so much time on the clock. Really just take your time on this push, right? You have the entire duration of this Camo, make the right plays. Even if you start to see an angle that's not working, reel it back and start something new. They have total control right now. They're sending players up open right away, so that's going to give an opportunity for the callouts to come. Demon D will now go Sword.
And this is the thing, this is what I love. You know, we take ourselves back to when we used to see Halo 3 and it would be the Camo guy makes that first push.
Beautiful.
That tries to make things happen, but it's the teammates making the distraction, which is allowing Demon D to have his way with these SQ members.
Look at this. Not able to pick up that kill. Look at this. Now tied 29-29. That was surgical. Beautiful, beautiful play from Lux Gaming there. 4 unanswered kills. They're up 31-29.
Now Demon D's trying to stay alive for as long as he can. Unfortunately, just got hit by a grenade as he lifted up the closed purple there. Battle's going down in lobby. See Flamesword gets taken down by Neighbor. Boobadooboo fighting against Neighbor as well. Neighbor plays his life well. That's what he does so well. And look at the help now coming from his teammates.
I really can't believe that push. I will say there's a lot of good fortune on their side for sending 2 players up open uncontested, which let the Camo make his play. Gilky was ready for that one, but here we are, 36-34, now 37. Lux in the lead on the home stretch.
See Demon D then from Lux Gaming just hiding in the open purple at the moment. Flamesword combines with Assault to pick up a kill. Demon D gets taken down. Boobadooboo's trying to hit some shots here, but it's not the back of the pit. He's coming under much more pressure here on Construct.
Oh man,
Flamesword dropping down. Ace picks up another. Demon D manages to find 1 kill, however. Takes out Assault as well. That's a big double at this point in the game coming in from Demon D.
I don't think Boo Boo meant to drop down. It looked like Boo Boo meant to get back into lobby, not dropping off R1, dropping from Sword. But it didn't cost him too much because Demon was able to get that kill in the back. Camo, by the way, coming up any moment.
Yeah, this could be huge. And Flamesword comes in, picks up the kill there and the sniper rifle. Flamesword whiffs a beat down and doesn't take down Boobadooboo. He's going to decide to get up top. It looks like Lux Gaming are going to have control of this camouflage, and when it's tied up at 41-41, Cloud really has the chance here to win this game for his team.
Once again, this is the Lux squad with the Camo. This time, situations even better, even more so in their favor. They're up by 1 with Camo on bottom, and they can make the call here. Only thing they have to worry about are rockets in the hands of Assault.
This is the thing, if one of the SQ members manages to sneak eyes onto that Camo player now, this could spell disaster here for Lux Gaming. So Cloud, you got to be ballsy, you got to make a big play here. And this might be it. You can take down the rocket player, it'd be huge, and he does get that kill.
The biggest play that Cloud could have made just now. Assault was exposed, now some great team shots as well. This is really their game to lose. They should be able to close this out.
Flamesword then going to be caught out bottom middle. You can see Neighbor coming off the respawn as well. 2 players taken down, but we need to talk about that play from Cloudy Cloud. What a grenade, and what a time to pick up the kill on the only player who could really do anything to thwart this Lux Gaming team.
That's a Neighbor there trying to lift. Looks like he also had closed lifters lifting as well. Did not work out for them. And they're only 1 kill away here, Lux.
Yeah, Neighbor's going to be in trouble here. He's going to get called out as well. You can see Gilky's whiffing a few shots, whiffing another one, but he should be in position. One of the players should at least be in position to potentially pick up this kill, but somehow SQ just elongates this. Oh, my word! Ace, take a seat. Gilky's going to win the game in style.
Wow. Gilk, the man, ending the game with that headshot. Jeez, I mean, I thought we were looking at a highlight reel for a second. He lets out a big.
I always say, look, it doesn't matter if you whiff a few as long as you hit one like that. At the end. You know, that's the one we'll remember, not the whiff ones beforehand.
Took my breath away.
See Demon D there with a 19 and a 12 statistic lineup there. Fantastic stuff coming in from Demon D, and he was one of the players we highlighted before, Andy, who was one of the players to watch for sure.
I mean, Lux Gaming, guys, they're not ready for that elimination bracket, I tell ya. Some incredible stuff. And I did say, I honestly believed that the Slayer would come down to the wire. It was very, very close until the end there. And then Gilky just blew Ace's face off.
You really did.
You can tell by the look on my face.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic. What a way to end that game. But I think if I have to pick out one moment that stands out that shows, it tells a story of that game, it's the Camo push at the 26-29 mark, and the way that they played it. I know we talked a lot about the veteran experience that they have on the side of SQ, but you can't forget the fact that you have national champions on the side of the stage of Lux, and man, did they ever play that Camo push. I mean, as a coach, that was the most beautiful push I've seen in a long time. 2 up open, it worked out for them. and then all the way up the sword arm to the lobby flank, double back whack, 4 unanswered kills. That is, I mean, that's textbook construct push.
Absolutely. On set, we're going to have a look at some replays now because I know you want to get in there and say what you want to say, obviously brought to us by Mixer, but some formidable stuff there from LUX Gaming right off the bat.
I just want to talk about that camo push again a little bit more because put yourself in the mind of a player here. If you're trying to watch out for a camo player coming up, you kind of spread yourself around the map, right? You have a player in sword, maybe one player in each of the purples and someone at gold, maybe watching that open ramp. By sending 2 players up, they know that they're going to have a 2v1. Unless that player has grenades to win that battle, they're at least going to trade there. So they're going to be in a 3v3 situation with the camo. So breaking it down even more, like that's just genius play coming in from the guys on LUX Gaming, excuse me.
Yeah, it really was, and that's so much of Halo 3 is its positioning, it's being in the right places, and it's outsmarting your opponents. And it was really great tactical play there from LUX. Not only did it get them that push, but it also won them the game.
I mean, what do you think that SQ are thinking right now? After that Slayer, obviously we've got the series layout coming very shortly for you, but the veterans versus these young guns, you know, people who are ready to take that step into the Veterans League. I mean, looking at the way that the scales are balancing and tipping right now, would you say that LUX Gaming really have a chance of taking this series?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, you look at LUX Gaming, there's a lot of experience on that team as well. As we say, we've got Cloud and Demon D, you've got a national champion in Demon D, Cloud, multiple title winner on Instinct, Gilkey, as you say, very, very experienced Halo 3 player back in the day. Boobadoobie's the only one who kind of wasn't in that original because he probably, you know, he was just a small child at that point.
He was. I remember meeting him and he was a lot smaller than he is now.
SQ, I think they're so used to being in that situation. You know, there's only 1-1 in the series. You know, they've got a long way to go here. It's a best of 5, and nothing has been decided at this point. So SQ is kind of like, okay, we lost the last game. Let's reset. What's next? It's kind of that mentality. They've been there before. You can't win every game. You know, it's as simple as that.
Gents, let's take a look at the series now. Right now, brought to you by Xbox Game Pass. Next up is Guardian Oddball. I love Guardian Ball. I really do. I find it really fun. Might not be of everyone's taste, but it is of mine. So I'm excited for this one.
I want to know who doesn't like Guardian Oddball.
There we go. There we go. I'm happy with that.
Know you're wrong.
I'd like to have a word with whoever doesn't like Guardian Ball.
I mean, looking at the way that this series is going right now, Status Quo did say beforehand in their interview that, you know, they were going to capitalize on mistakes, but LUX Gaming, they're not moving, they're not looking shaky. Mistakes may not be coming Status Quo's way, and if that actually happens, do you see LUX Gaming taking this Guardian Ball?
I think this is a really interesting matchup of playstyles here, to be honest with you. It's going to be super close because you've got the very, you know, slow, methodical play that we're seeing from LUX Gaming, so that lends itself to a setup-based game type like Oddball. So if they can get the ball back to Elbow, if they get it in blue and then get a big chunk of time, that's great. But on the other side, you have a really scrappy team that kind of on MCC Oddball, we're seeing that lends itself to winning these Oddball games if you get those 10, 15 seconds consecutively. So it's a very interesting mesh of playstyles between two teams here. It's going to be exciting to see kind of what pans out better, to be honest. Whose playstyle kind of puts them in the driving seat for the victory. Absolutely.
Well, on set, bravo. The ball's in your court. Let's get this Guardian going.
All right, then, let's get this one going. And Andy, talk to me about the playstyles of these two teams, because you've heard my thoughts on how I think this one might go. It's going to be close, and I just think it's a fascinating matchup.
It really is, and I'm curious if we're going to look to see that control-based game type with teams really relying on that to get their time, or if, like you said, we're going to see a little bit of scrappier time. I think either can work, but really the question is who can get that first slaying spree, who can get 2 dead and continue killing those spawners. If they're able to do that, they're going to rack up some time and also, of course, get into the heads of their opponents.
Yeah, of course, and you've not got to be afraid to get your hands on that ball, get your hands dirty and get that time on the board as well. So here we go then, starting this one off with Cloud. 2 players immediately from SQ pushing top mid, and I love that. Look at that. Team shot coming in there from SQ that you can tell the communication's on point, and Assault immediately moving that Oddball back to green.
Wasting no time. The nades that are coming across do not hit, but there's a camo push that's also coming across, and that's going to be, I believe, yeah, Boo Boo, who's already back in snipe. This is going to go well for him.
Another player here just biding his time, and I love this play from Neighbor here. The longer that he stays alive, the longer that he's likely to get help from a teammate. Here comes the push though. Even though they got 3 dead there, it's going to be the push coming in here from LUX Gaming, and they take every single player out from SQ. They get the sniper rifle, and look at this. Now they have that elbow setup I was talking about.
Top gold spawns. Players are also going to Garden right now, and they're already in blue, but look at off of your screen. Gilkey's flying into blue like a madman, cutting off those spawners. We'll have to see if that works out for them or gave them a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, good shots coming in again there for SQ. A really, really strong push from them. They managed to take down 2 or 3 players. This might be everyone dead if they can take down Cloud as well. Neighbor will do that. All the players down. The play ball does come in though. So that means no time immediately on the board here for SQ.
And I have to wonder if Gilkey had sat back just a bit more. I mean, you don't really fly into blue when you have an elbow green set up unless there's a very specific set of circumstances that would lead you to do so. So surprising to see that. If it worked out for him, we could have seen him rack up some time, but really, oh,
baby! There's Ace. Aaron Elam's here to play. Beautiful no-scope from him, and I love, however, when you see a disgusting shot hit like that. Well, we just missed the easy ones after it.
Yeah, but as I was saying, it might have left a real hole in their setup. As a result, we haven't really seen either team get much time since.
Ace then going to have a comfortable flank here on Demon D. Takes him down with the beatdown, drops down to watch that bottom gold lift. You can see he's just watching over Neighbor here, trying to see if he can assist him in that battle to try and get numbers. And look at the time that SQ are racking up right now, 31-17. And they've almost doubled the time here on their opponents here.
By the way, Camo just picked up their 44 was the timing on it.
Well, the Cloud had just fallen on a grenade there, but the plasma grenade did not do any damage to him, and that means he can now do some work with that camouflage. Wait for some shots to come in, but now he's got to slow down the push because the red X's means that he can't overcommit to this push, because if he gets taken down, the camo's out of commission once more.
Very wise to just stay back, let those shields recharge, and like you said, live to fight another day. If he knew that Ace was so weak, he probably would end up lifting. However, no indication that those grenades hit. Didn't have a sight line on it. So Ace is going to sit back. Here's the first real piece of control we've seen on set. Now look at the score after all of this already, 58-17.
Yeah, this is a big chunk of time, and Ace hits a nice headshot there to help out with the numbers once more. And when you see 2 or 3 kills in the kill feed going to the team with the oddball, that guarantees you 15, 20 seconds comfortably. And look at the score, 71-17. But as we know, oddball, a game type where you can come back from big deficits, but just makes it much more difficult when you've got a player like Ace who's just bodying people trying to lift.
Got to be frustrating for Cloud. He's been in that situation many, many times. Was confident to challenge from blue, but Ace just as confident to challenge from snipe 2.
Here comes the push then from LUX. Finally, they pick up the kills they need to. 2 dead. Flamesword should be taken down here by Cloud. And I say should, but Flamesword gets a little bit of a helping hand down to bottom green. Just to stay alive, and that means that's delaying LUX Gaming getting their hands on the ball. Gilkey comes under pressure, and that one play there has disrupted the entire push of LUX.
That was a great team shot from Ace back green. Of course, these guys on the SQ side have been playing together for so long, and it really shows there in moments like that. And now pulling away. This game's very different here on set, where we're actually seeing SQ with a great opening, whereas in the first 2 games, we saw them with a little bit of a weaker opening.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a warming up going on for the guys on SQ, but the communication seems to be on point now. Seems to be picking up the kills they need to, and most importantly, winning those battles they need to. Neighbor's going to be taken down, but does get the burn on the camo, but now they've got this blue set up potentially here, LUX Gaming. 2 kills being picked up as well. You can see Gilkey get aggressive on these last couple of kills, and I love seeing that. In oddball, when you get 2 dead, you can afford to be aggressive on those last couple of pushes.
As long as it's right time, right place, which we saw Gilkey earlier showing us an example of maybe not the right time or right place. But they're right back in this game here is LUX. It's now at 79-40. They're bringing it back by just a bit. We're seeing a nice tour of Guardian here. Now we have a blue hold. We've seen an elbow hold. We saw some snipe 2 holding. So a lot of variety from these 2 teams in terms of where they're holding the ball, which really tells you kind of just how skilled they are. Wherever the ball is, they can make that setup work. They know which pieces of the puzzle to put together at each time.
And one thing I love that I'm seeing from Booba here is the rotation. You can see him probably go for the play ball here as his teammates do fall. Neighbor picks up 1 kill, Booba gets taken out as well, but you saw when he was looking towards blue there, it was because he knew that was the only potential entry point at that time that the players on SQ to try and hit. He was trying to wait a few seconds, drop that grenade, predict the timing of the player coming through that door, and that's how good these guys are. They can almost assume and make assumptions on what time these players are going to be pushing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of mind games going back and forth between these guys, especially when you're looking at a game like Halo 3, over 10 years old. The amount of mind games and the counter mind games that are happening are constantly happening with these players. If you think about kind of the games that have this kind of history. But one thing I thought was interesting was Boo actually decided to play the ball from Garden and not starting a blue rotation or a sniper rotation or getting out of there. Maybe he tried to stay alive at gold. I like the decision if it works. However, it didn't work out for them. But you know, with these games, have so many different variables and options.
One thing I'm loving here is the fact that we're seeing talked about the clashes of playstyles, but the two setups. You've seen SQ using that snipe elbow setup. LUX Gaming have racked up most of their time here in the blue, and you see two players now pushing in who are colored blue into blue to take him down. Cloud now's going to have some work to do.
He should stay alive here at all costs.
Cloud now going to be jumping up to top gold. Communication for these guys is something we've been talking about a lot, so let's jump into a listening now and see how the guys are chatting.
Control this.
Where? S1,
Watch the low side middle. Watch the low for us.
You got two more.
Watch the top mid push. Everyone in nade.
Funny at two.
Look at nade.
Two top mid.
Good. Alright, come here. One from blue.
Top blue weak.
Watch out front. Watch out window. I got one. Okay, top gold. Top gold.
With you. I'm with you. It's in barrels. I'm not down.
One mid.
Get a look.
Gain the lead.
We're blocking green. Go. Top mid. Look from blue. I had grenade.
Another green.
That's two sniping.
Neighbors top on green.
What's up?
Another kill.
We got one. Nice. Top camo, he said?
Oh my god, come on,
Maybe bottom middle. Alright, leave that guy.
Camo. Just lift the camo.
Watch out for blue ace.
I got him. No, he's not blue. He didn't die.
I got him.
Get the fuck out.
Watch out of that, Saber. Yeah, stay snipe, Chris. Yeah. We're watching 18 seconds. Watch low. Yeah. Watch low. 10 seconds. 18. They're gonna spawn green. Green in the bottom middle. Stay alive. Standing bottom mid. Chris, 5 seconds. 18. I'm watching that swan. He comes. Sniper's up, Chris.
I hear you. I'm watching.
Watch out, there's 200 overshield. I'm looking at the shield. They're gonna have sniper.
No one died.
I need a bottom mid. They have snipe. They're going from blue. Sniper going. Push on ball. I got him. One shot. Let me go for ball. Bring it gold. Mike. That's snipe blue.
Ball taken. Ball
I'm watching low. That's snipe blue.
Ball taken.
That's snipe.
Ball taken.
You're gonna nade me. Front is two as well. You guys are going out. Yeah. I'm trying to get into blue.
Ball taken.
Stay alive, please. Yeah, I'm fine. Camo at 30. Back up, Mason. Still under glass. Add camo. No one's top mid, right? Add camo, there's a dude. Help him out, Aaron. He's weak at camo. Camo now, stop. Wait. Still there, still down. One side. He's just got camo. Shoot him. He's weak up there. No, you're dead.
Just as we jump back into this game, an ace hits a headshot, but the story of this has been this blue setup that LUX Gaming have managed to hold. SQ had such a good start to this game, but this time they seem to be falling apart towards the end, and I love this jump here from Boobaduba. He just missed that last little ledge there to creep up behind the player in blue, but the distraction should allow him to push in. He should take down Ace here. Ace is going to get the play ball. He somehow stays alive just for a second. Assault gets taken down, but SQ have kept this close, but blue has been the home of LUX Gaming.
Yeah, blue really became the grandstand, the homestead here throughout the last part of this match. But what a fantastic Guardian oddball this has been. We saw big swings from both sides. Really, neither team has been out of it with comebacks each time. Anytime we saw any kind of lead established, and now it's still so close. 155 to 127 with 5:30 left.
And Cloud managed to get the play ball as well, so great communication coming in from LUX, telling him the pressure was coming in from blue. Now SQ are trying to get away with it, and we're seeing maybe a few frustrated plays coming in from a few of the members of SQ now as they're falling behind by this few seconds.
Absolutely now. One thing I think you and I were talking about during the listen is you're seeing some top mid pushes from Neighbor. I mean, Neighbor is really an aggressive player no matter what. As you see Boo Boo take him down, a little bit of play ball here, knew the pressure was coming, but you have to wonder if there's a little bit of frustration coming in. Not the first solo push we've seen from Neighbor trying to get something started. That's what's required, but you seem to be getting singled out a bit remaining.
Indeed, and he's been playing extremely well, and from the listening you heard that he was definitely feeling himself after picking up a few kills and picking up a big win in a 1v1 battle as well. 155 to 128 though, Andy. Still so much time left in this game, and you can see how back and forth it's been already. Yeah,
this really is starting to be in the home stretch here. As we get to the last few minutes of the game, you've seen a lot of things that have led to some big moments of control on each side, and neither team is going to want to give up that control.
And here comes Neighbor. That's the kind of spark we want to see from Neighbor. Picked up a nice double kill, pushed in aggressively for the third kill. Now he's looking for respawners, and I always feel like Neighbor is most dangerous when he picks up a couple of kills, then he turns his attention to those respawners, trying to pick them off immediately, trying to keep his opponents at 2 dead.
This should be a really good opportunity for them. Flame still has camo at snipe. He just needs to not die, bait some kills here. Also, Neighbor having that angle from green. An elbow. This is a really great opportunity for the guys on SQ. I'm really curious how we're going to see a LUX push. It looks like a snipe push right now.
Two players should fall here. Demon D gets taken down. Assault picks up another one here for SQ.
last two are
SQ
gold.
in a lead, and now they don't have to get too aggressive. They can just hold these angles because Neighbor with the sniper rifle is going to be able to pick off any players who try and pop around top mid.
You got a player at camo, that's Boo Boo. Cloud is still at blue. Demon's still at blue. Gilkey still at gold. No one in a position to push just yet.
And every single body shot that Neighbor hits here, it just means the push just gets stopped immediately. You can't push on Guardian 3v4. You have to push 4v4. And if you haven't got your shields, it's a few more seconds on the clock for the ball holder.
Should be a play ball here momentarily. If I'm not mistaken, I would have expected it, but no, QUO did not squeak out the play ball. They might do so
dead as well. Full dead as well. And look at this. LUX Gaming have managed to sneak in and get that ball in their hands. And you have to say, a mistake here for SQ.
Yes, looking across the screens, I absolutely anticipated a play ball. When you see the ball down mid-elbow, there's really no excuses for why it wasn't played. If it's an S2 door, if it's at bottom green door, someone might have been trying. But when you see the ball like that sitting here, that should have been a play ball. This should not be as close as it is. Next camo, 226.
That was a fresh forward dead then for SQ. LUX Gaming with a chance to maybe go back into the lead here if they can do a little bit damage for the respawners. And Demon D picking up the first kill in the team fight against Neighbor is going to give them the opportunity to go into the lead now. There it is, 185 and counted. 2 minutes 35 left on the clock.
QUO needs to put together a great push here. They've just lost the lead. Like you said, 2.5 left. Once again, no surprise, Neighbor leading the charge. There's also an S1 push happening here, and they have cleared it out. It is a play ball for LUX, though. So the guys on QUO, they do get control of the map. Look at this Demon D with camo. It's going to spell disaster here for Neighbor.
That grenade, I thought he might not get away with that one. Might have given away his position, but smart there, play there from Demon D, excuse me. Assault does take him down, though, so look how close this is, Andy. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock, and it's only 6 seconds of ball time separating these two teams.
So close throughout this entire game. What a tug-of-war match we've had. One of the best games of Guardian Oddball I can remember in a long time. It looks like 2 dead momentarily for both sides.
Yeah, 2 players fall for both teams. Look at that from Gilkey jumping over, using that lift. And that's such a smart play to get the ball off the map as his teammates were falling.
Huge. That's going to keep this game within 12 seconds and allow QUO to fly right to top it.
2 kills traded across the board. It was a double from Cloud. It was a double from Neighbor. But Flamesword has managed to get in and scrap up ball time. This is where I was talking about being scrappy here for SQ, where it can be effective, but also it can bite you sometimes because SQ actually fell there and Flamesword went down. Now the ball's reset top middle, and there's still just a few seconds between these two teams.
Yeah, this is a 3-second game with both teams on each side of the map. Neither one wants to give up this first death here. QUO actually falls first, so it's a 4v3 momentarily.
Booba in a difficult position down bottom green, just needs to stay alive here. Good shots there from Neighbor, but look at Gilkey again. Sneaks in like a thief in the night, picks up that oddball, but he doesn't get too much time on the board again. Good job from QUO.
But he plays the ball. Great job from him to stay on the S1 ledge, make sure to play ball, but that ball's gonna be grabbed by Ace. Look at this.
45 seconds left on the clock. Looking across these point of views at the moment, and there are players alive here for LUX Gaming. It all comes down to this push. Ace has managed to get away, and QUO going into the lead now with just 35 seconds left on the clock.
They might rotate gold if Neighbor picks up a kill here at gold. No.
Flame goes down though.
Yeah, gonna be a play ball here. There's going to be at least one more push yet, but look at this. With every second, there's an infamous spot here with the ball. Now, 15 seconds separating them. They need to see a LUX grab immediately.
They need to get this ball straight away. Camo's up as well. Booba does get it in his hands, and he comes under no damage.
They can do
Cloud
it.
picks up the first kill in the fight as well.
Demon has camo. Demon has camo as well. They need almost every second here.
Demon D cannot make any mistakes.
They got it.
Picks up one. Neighbor's going to go as well, but he's taken down. Neighbor picks up one, and they managed to do it. LUX Gaming pull it off at the end of the game. What a push coming in from those 4 gentlemen on the stage, and they go 2-1 up in the series. Wow, what a comeback from them.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I said it in the middle of the match, I'll say it again, one of the best Guardian balls I've seen in a long time. If you had to write the perfect Guardian ball script of the match that I would want to watch, that's exactly what it would be. Big 50-point swings, the ball held on all sorts of different parts of the map, and down to the wire.
100%. That was almost Bible oddball play. Incredible stuff from both of these teams. I mean, gentlemen, looking at the stats that we're seeing right now on the screen, some incredible plays there. I mean, Boo Boo looking insane. Their use of control, especially in blue, really gave them that huge advantage. But I mean, the play was back and forth the whole time. And until the end there, I felt like the play was extremely scrappy towards the end. And it was like almost any seconds they could lap up, each team was trying to get it. Obviously, the timer advantage and you know, going towards the end there for LUX Gaming really did pay off. But those seconds, any possible second you could get on the ball towards the end, it was crucial.
Yeah, I mean, the early seconds you get really matter. But one thing I got to point out from that post-game stats was our guy Boo, right? We talked about how he has the least professional Halo 3 experience on his side of the stage. Not only does he go +8, he's the only one that goes positive on his team. Amazing job.
And he had the most ball time as well. So, you know, he had pretty much everything going for him. But I want to actually highlight Gilkey, because we talk about stats, we talk about everything, blah, 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 blah. 2 big plays in that game from Gilkey. One towards the end where he managed to scrap up a few seconds of oddball time by going in, S1. Jumping down to S1 and getting that ball away. And then I believe he was the player who got that first kill in the team fight towards the end. I can't explain how much pressure is on that fight there. That 1v1 fight, when you know you have to win it to get across the map, to give yourself a chance of winning the game. Gilkey, hats off.
I can literally hear how
Hats on,
excited you
actually.
both are. Let's have a look at some of the highlights we saw in that map now, brought to you by Mixer. I mean, insane stuff from both teams here, trying to clutch up, trying to get the one over each other, because it really was so back and forth. Like you said, 50-point spins there, coming in from different parts of the map, looking across the board like perfection from both sides really here.
It was a fantastic match of Guardian Ball. I mean, I've played a lot of Guardian Ball. Everyone who's watching here in the room and at home, I'm sure, has played and watched a lot of Guardian Ball, and that was fantastic. You know, you can have a lot of games where teams are pulling away by 100 points, and this match was anything but.
I think the only thing that this game didn't give us was a big rotation of an oddball, to be honest. But it's so difficult to do when you have 2 teams who were so effective at cleaning up those last 1 or 2 players, making sure that they had to force that play ball. So we saw the elbow set up, we saw how effective that was at the start of the game, we saw the blue set up, and then towards the end we saw how important getting those clutch moments and getting those, even the little jumps. Gilkey jumping into the lift to save himself a second or so from blue window. How big those plays could be.
Here's my question. You see, actually right here, that was actually the boo lift, apologies. I was wondering at the end if we saw Ace kind of take a different angle and not get on the green stump. If he hit a little bit more, would those seconds have made a difference? It's really tough to say, but in the end, it was a great aggression from both sides. But to add on to your point, Onset, I think one of the reasons that we saw no rotations is kind of testament to just how much pressure each team was applying.
100%.
Because that pressure, because the pushes were so accurate, they did not have holes, they didn't have gaps, there weren't really many opportunities to even rotate.
100%.
No, definitely. I mean, one thing I want to note there, I mean, the LUX Gaming listening, how can they understand each other with that? I have no idea, but if it works, it works. Let's have a look at our series layout now, brought to you by Xbox Game Pass. We have got Heretic Capture the Flag up next. Exciting stuff, gentlemen. Objective gameplay here again, straight into it. I really don't know how this is going to go personally, looking at the way that we've seen the map so far.
Now, the first minute or 2 minutes of this game, I feel are pivotal for how this series goes, because you look at LUX, they're riding off the momentum now of that last game. If they get a cap on the board early here, that could really deflate SQ, and that could really get down on themselves, and before you know it, this could be a 3-1. However, if SQ can get that first cap on the board and all of a sudden remember, right, that was the last game, that's done and dusted now, we want to send this one to a game 5. Narrow Slayer, I can't call that one myself. So first minute or 2 in this game, vital for both these teams.
Gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to you to narrate our next map of the series. It's Heretic.
All right, I can't wait to jump into this. It's going to be good, especially, I think, Mark, you called it perfectly, just the way that the way that this match kicks off is going to be a big deciding factor, really on the pacing, because as we saw from SQ, we've seen a little bit, when they get flustered, their pushes get a little more spread out. We start to look a little more scattered, and if we see that in Heretic, you know, you're going to see flags go on the board real quick. Both of these teams are so capable of capitalizing on mistakes, so I think both teams need to be very disciplined in their defense. If they go 4 dead, it could spell disaster.
And not only that, both these teams are so good at potentially getting back-to-back caps, rallying flag caps. So you're not going to be careful of just giving away 1. You've got to be careful of giving away 2 or even 3 flag caps on Heretic. But here we go, game number 4 of this series, and what a start it has been here to the HCS Invitational.
Absolutely, it's been a while since we've seen some Heretic, of course. It's great to be back on this map. You're for both you and I, Mark, our first time casting this map here in this tournament. And for many of these players, of course, it's going to be their first game on this map as well. But they're good and warmed up after this series. LUX Gaming currently leading 2-1.
That was the first instant explode we saw on this map. You'll certainly be seeing a lot more of those as those plasma grenades are used to trigger each other.
It's pretty interesting, and if I if I say so myself, a pretty calm opening to a Heretic CTF. You don't usually see this kind of casual style opening. Usually there's a good bit of control that's established off of the break, or at least on the second spawn rotation. Not the case here.
Now we are seeing a flag move. And it is going to be towards the pink side. You can see it's Ace who's moving, and one of the most important players on the map right now is Flamesword. Up in that pink 2 area, he needs to be doing damage. He needs to be getting shots down because the push is coming on the car side. Ace is doing a good job here of not only running the flag in, but he's got to now fight these players who have managed to overextend here. Lux Gaming doing a great job defensively here.
Look at Gilkey just jumps onto the flag stand, gets into BR battle, and essentially starts that run himself. Big play from Gilkey.
Yeah, if he can get this back in the bubble as well, he's safe for a few seconds here, because you can see Cloud's pushed up on the car side of the map. Now he can kind of fight and play last line of defense if needed.
Really good shots here from Gilkey. Not only is he anchoring this flag and bubble, but also engaging players S1 on the wing at S2. Excuse me, pink one.
Ace picks up 2 big kills there. He cleans up those last 2 players who are trying to push in. Now we're going to see Ace drop that one for a respawn on match. It looks like he's going to be the player responsible for keeping that flag alive. Flush going to be coming in from SQ here, looking for that return on the flag, and interesting to see where Gilkey's gone, because looking at the player outlines now, it looks like he's moved from the car bubble back to his flag, and now it's going to be a defensive play.
3 dead. Ace is the only player, momentarily only player alive there, so that's a failed push there for the QUO side. Gilkey doing a great job here. Here's might be a return for Cloud.
When the flag touch does come in at the last second, but that player will get taken down. This should be a return coming in now. Flamesword gets taken down, and Lux Gaming do get that first flag on the board. Huge for them.
Big plays once again from Gilkey to sit on that flag stand, get into BR battle, and start that run. Of course, you know, to be able to pull that off, the help from his teammates absolutely came, but look at Lux again.
Not only that, Demon D's picking up kills and opening up the entire car side of the map for them. The quickest way to get the flag back to the base is running through this car bubble. This is going to be 2-0. I talked about back-to-back flag caps. That's how good these teams are. Lux double their lead.
And Lux right here, they're looking to close out this series in just 4 games. They don't want to go to a Game 5 narrows, and a very strong opening. Just like you said, Onset, being able to cap like that back-to-back, capitalizing big.
Neighbor should be taken down here by Cloud, and there's a killing spree from Cloud, excuse me, as Ace falls under the base, and he was a player I highlighted at the start of this day. Someone who's been able to get back on the sticks for a little bit longer now as he's looking for the triple kill. Teammate comes in and helps him out with this one, but his shot has been phenomenal so far in this game.
Yeah, now he's got the frags to push in as well. Really deadly. You see he's going to bounce these in. He knows the players are spawning top of the base, and it could be poised for a 3rd flag.
Yeah, playing nice and sneaky at the moment. You can see he's got a player up on P3, so he knows that he can be aggressive if needs to. Going to have some team help, but there's the double kill now. More help coming in on the pink side as well. If they can clear these 2 players out of car, this could be another cap going here to the guys on Lux Gaming.
Feels like every time we look at that scoreboard, there's at least 1 or 2 members on the QUO side that have been down. That's really been the story of the match. Boo Boo takes his time and eventually takes down Flame. 2 dead once again. Look at this, Lux Gaming.
This is the cap. They got 2 kills in the base. They rallied the flag back, and Lux Gaming are just rolling here on Heretic.
And I think
3 caps to 0.
Yeah, excuse me. I think it really comes down to an objective efficiency here. I mean, they are wasting no time. As soon as there's 2 dead, look, 2 dead again. There's been 2 dead for the entire 6 minutes of the opening of this game, and that's why they have 3 flags on the board.
And 2 dead means that there's going to be 4 BRs on 2 players who are alive, and there's so many lines of sight here on Heretic. So many ways to land your BR shots across map, and now that we're on LAN as well, it means that, you know, those shots are going to hit even harder than they do when you're sat at home. So Lux Gaming doing a great job of not only getting that 2 dead, but then their communication has been superb. Not only to where to run that flag, but also where to locate those last couple of players.
That's right. And let's not forget, lots of time on the clock here. We have over 10 minutes of play. The game, of course, goes to 5 flags, and a team like Status Quo, they can absolutely rally back, but they're going to need to change a few things in order to do so. Lux really looking in control here.
Yeah, Boobadoobie is going to be dropping down to P1 here, trying to pick up the kill here on Flamesword. Does so. Big kill in a situation where you're last player alive. He'll be taken down by the back smack here from Ace, but that little kill there, talked about it before, just allows his teammates to get off respawn, allows them to get into better defensive positions around their flag.
Yeah, here's my question, because Status Quo, like we said, on paper, such a great team. And not only on paper, this is a great group of guys with a lot of big Halo 3 achievements. but what is it going to take to see them bounce back? Because there's no doubt they can win this game, still win the series. But look at LUX just running away with flags. They shouldn't even be getting that flag. Should not have been capped, making it look way too easy. Now they're only one away. Like we said, SQ is a momentum-based team. They may already be out of this mentally.
Now, they might be out of this mentally, but we've seen so many huge comebacks in the past on Heretic. Big swings. We've seen 4-0s become 5-4s. So they need to keep that in mind here, SQ. They've got the experience of doing that. They just need to get something going. I feel like they need to put a little more pressure on the car side of the map, because at the moment, LUX Gaming, that's been their real estate. They have been running every single flag there.
Unfortunate teammate there from Assault as Flame drops off of that Eli kind of base window area and catches that frag. But finally, it's a 2v2. But look at that, a stick comes through, 3 dead again for SQ. And really great slaying this entire game from LUX. Not only that, but slaying with players in scoring position, always ready to get the pull. We haven't really seen them ever get 3 dead without pulling, and that's why they're up 4-0.
Yeah, it's really, really true. It's been so tough for them to get into the base, and you can see there, Neighbor finally trying to get some car control for his team, and what happens? 3 players swarm at him from LUX Gaming and just make his life even more difficult. 2v2 then. Cloud gets taken down by Neighbor. Good defensive plays from here. Insta-splode, or attempted insta-splode there into the car bubble. Gilkey now going to be taken down, and here we go. This is the push we want to see. This is the teamwork and the team shot we need to see from SQ.
Great push, and also Neighbor very wise to check his car 2 corners just in case some crazy spawners might be sitting there still waiting for the push, but instead they focused all attention to S1. Could be a pull here. They still got a lot of time.
Invitational staying alive. Slightly longer than Neighbor would have wanted in that situation. Now he's pushing in again aggressively, and all the shots coming in here. If they can pick up this last kill, 4 dead for the first time here for SQ, they can finally get a flag moving.
Demon D spawns car 2. Unlucky as they try to get the car 2 run going. Demon D looking at him right in the face. That could arrest the entire run here. But they're going to go for it anyway. Here they go.
I think they managed to take down Demon D, and he was taken out of commission, but those few seconds it took, again, allows teammates to come off respawn. Demon D off the respawn now comes in, and there's a triple kill for Ace. That should finally be the first flag on the board here for SQ, and he might be potentially set up here for the double cap. But look how hard they had to work for just 1 cap, Andy.
They really did have to work for it. There's a lot of time left, like we said, but it was not easy, especially when you contrast that with how easy the LUX flag pulls and how easy really their overall slaying and control has looked this whole game. SQ having to work for it. I did like what I saw though with Ace ready to pull that second flag if need be. Keep in mind, they're just a few rotations here away from getting back into this match. It's a 3 flag deficit. Got about just under 7 minutes to do it.
The issue here for SQ is we don't have any mistakes left in the bag. We have to play perfect Halo here. We can't let LUX Gaming get into our base and pick up kills, and just as I say that, look who's behind enemy lines. It's Booby versus Ace, and he hits him with the hottest 4 you could possibly order.
Unlucky there to find Flame under the base. Gilkey though trying to make a push in as well. Really expect this will be another pull for LUX, wasting no time yet again.
Immediately moving into the car side of the base once more. Look at this, positionally, they look like they might be able to get this one in. What a great run there from Gilkey. The toss gets it all the way across the map, and that time that's been saved means the game has been won, and the series has been won. LUX Gaming, what a performance.